Alright guys, we're going up against Mathismight. This is yeah, his MMR is crazy high right now. Um yeah, what can I say? He's one of the best in the game, and you know, it's going to be a challenge here. But one thing I think we have on our side is, I mean, last time we actually played him, or I remember we played him, it's been so long. And we actually won the last couple times. Like, we you know, this was pre-nerf factory, and we were able to get in there with the factory. But I also remember the last time we played, he blind countered us with a melter, and we didn't actually even go factory. So he was already losing, so it kind of didn't matter. But it must have been like a month now since we played. So we're going to try not to get splashed here. I think we position like this. I like our positioning with the hounds. And oh my god, we almost killed the Arclight for free there. I guess his positioning is kind of bad, which is surprising. Mathismight has bad positioning? That's weird. You would imagine, like, he's, that doesn't make sense. We know if we go for a damage item, we could probably one-shot his, Arclight, which would be a disaster for him. He is the supply specialist, so he's got, like, the best starting pack. But his HP is really low, and we actually tie here. I think I might want to take this. I don't know. Like, it's going to cost us tempo, but it might, you know, it might be some damage we need. Otherwise, you have 450. What do we necessarily go for? 450 versus 350. I mean, we can go for an extra 200 cost unit, but I don't think there is a 200 cost unit here. So we'll just go for the missile strike. We'll go for a little bit of a short-term cheese play here. And then we'll just go for 3 deployments. I'm worried about I am kind of worried about his air unit. He's going to go for a single Phoenix minimum. So I'm contemplating if we need to go for Fangs here. But that's like 2 deploys that we didn't really want, just for the air threat. So I'm thinking about just going for our own Phoenix. We're gonna have to put it kind of back just because, you know, his units are kind of back. And we'll go for a crawler maybe down the middle. Okay, he goes for the farce here. That's interesting. I was never expecting the farce here. I mean, given how little HP he has, you know, I don't love his chances just because if he loses one round, he's already in like factory gut shot territory. And against an opponent like Mathismight, we're not going to play civilly. We're just going to try to finish the game as soon as possible. Like, you know, we're you know, give him a lot of credit for taking the game. He's, you know, over 200 higher than us. And, you know, I wouldn't blame him if he didn't want to, you know, if he wanted to dodge us, but give him a lot of credit there for not dodging. So what do we do here? Let's start selling out, and we will go for, I think we go for the factory right away. Or do we not? It might be a little early for the factory, though, but at the same time, it's hard for him to counter us right now. Yeah, I think we go for the sell here. This can be good, but it's going to be countered by everything else. Let's see how much money we have. 900? Is it enough to get a factory? It is, but It's not that good of a factory. We're still gonna sell out though. We're just gonna get into more Phoenix and perhaps some Mustangs at some point. Let's go for perhaps range. Do we need to oil him? Why don't we oil him right away? Just to slow him down a little bit. Do we upgrade this, or do we just go for the attack upgrade? Okay, we've got Phoenixes. This is so good for the Wraith. It's level 2 Wraith, but I think we were still good here. I don't know if it... The Wraith is going to destroy the Phoenix, that's the problem. But somehow it's not attacking the Phoenix. This is really weird. So we get a level 2 Wraith almost for free. It almost... Oh my god. How did it kill the tower there? I was like celebrating for a second, but all of a sudden I'm not celebrating anymore. Okay. Okay, I think we scam him here actually, right? Almost scam him. Not quite. It's the crawlers, but that was still pretty good. That was still pretty good. Now he's going to be expecting the fire. I think we do fire him, actually. Just go for some more chaff here. I feel like this isn't doing anything. We might as well just start selling. Do we also distract him with like a flank crawler, or there's no point in... We want him to go into the fire. I think this is fine. This is going to be a okay, so it's going to be Farseers. He does have the burst, but he's already spent money on the aerial spec. I guess it's going to eat the fire, which is not good. Maybe he's expecting Phantom Rays. Okay, come on, crawler. Uh-oh, that's not a, that's a real bad fire. Okay. I wish we had more chaff clear here. So we're gonna go factory pretty soon here. Yeah, we're not playing this amazingly. We're kind of doing something really weird here. We're not playing normally because we know that we can't win unless we do something crazy. So we're just trying something crazy here. We have nothing to lose. He has everything to lose. So we're just going to go all in with factory pretty much. Okay, let's go for the mobile beacon. I think we need to range the Phoenixes. Okay, the missile comes down. He's going to missile strike us again. We throw out a couple Phantom Rays just to spread this on fire. Kind of feel like it. But then the missile's coming down. Do we just go? I think we just go straight into the factory now. Okay, let's think about this here. We're gonna need a distraction crawler here. And let's go for range or speed here. kind of like speed. I kind of like armor. I'm just not sure what's more important. All right, let's go for it. It's got a pretty good beacon. We're gonna get slowed down here, but the factory's kind of open. This is the 10. This is the factory round 5 101 build, and yeah, I mean we pretty much just built the most crappiest board possible, just because like you know we're just going factories, and it's actually working. And but he's got a plan. He's gonna click burst, and that burst is gonna mess us up hard. That burst is gonna really mess us up. I just wonder if we could like, if we just went into like a mountain, like level 2 Titan mountain, and he can't kill it with the burst, then do we just auto win? That's what I'm thinking here. I mean, he does have the level 2s, but still. Ion Blast is kind of good, but there's no guarantee that we're gonna kill his things, but it could be worth trying. It really could be worth trying. But it's a huge risk though, that Ion Beam. If it doesn't hit, we're kind of screwed, but I think we go for the Ion Beam here. Like if we hit him, then we win, right? So I guess, is there a point in reposition this, or there's always a point in repositioning, I think. So now we'll go for a couple chaff. All right, let's just go. I guess we're just gonna go. Let's go naked. No, we can't go naked. Okay, let's not forget to place the Ion Beam. We might as well just go from here to like here. And missile this. Missile this. Just throw down more missiles. Okay, he actually respects it with the melting point, gets the insta-lock. I wasn't actually even expecting the melting point, but it makes sense. Kind of stupid. Kind of stupid our play, but honestly I was expecting him to just go burst. I wasn't even expecting the melting point, but it, you know, that's stupid for us to not expect it. Again, you know, we don't have anything to lose. He has everything to lose. So we're and he, you know, he's kind of losing, to be honest. Like we should be losing, but he's kind of losing. Sandworm's kind of good here. Phantom Raid's also really good chaff, honestly, but it's kind of bad into the into some of his stuff, but you know, it's kind of good. You could put the Phantom Rays here. It's gonna take a while to die. I just don't know if he gets the insta-lock. Like, why don't we just beacon this a little bit more weird, like... Okay, so there's a potential for an oil. Why don't we go for like this? Okay, boom, boom. Actually, don't want to sell out of the Phantom Rays. I might want to sell out of this, I'm not sure. Maybe sell out of the Hound at the minimum. We'll still... I don't know about the shield, but let's go... Just go for a double factory. Do we just use this to trigger the missile? Right. I'd be surprised if this actually worked. Level 1. He's got suck already. Yeah, this is not gonna work. Never gonna work. Okay. This is fine. It's fine. I mean, we're really just going for like a crazy move that we weren't expecting to win with. But I definitely think that we could have played it better. Like we could have probably won the last round. I don't think it's possible to win anymore because he's in such a good position. Yeah, give him credit for even you know, playing with us here. All right, so the crazy thing is that we actually got him down to 1200. So in a way, that's already kind of a victory because it was just purely based on the War Factory. So the first round, it worked. We moved it and it didn't work. And the reason why is because, you know, you just put two melters here, right? We didn't even need to move it. This made no difference. We actually moved it into probably like the worst place. He was actually expecting it here, which is kind of interesting. It would have been better to move it here, I think. So that's where the mind game is. We moved it to the middle, but the middle is not where you want to move it. The ion beam is interesting, but yeah, it was a risk. Like if we caught his melter in there or something, it would have been amazing. But well, why don't we just say? Well, why don't we try this again? Like, let's say we don't move it, and we're trying to get his. I guess we're trying to get this, or aren't we? Right? So you probably go for something like this. And the problem is you don't want the insta-lock, so you do move it for just to avoid the insta-lock. So it'll be in the corner. I love how he was expecting it in the other corner. It's really, really smart of him. And we're gonna try not to get hit with our own beam here. So probably want to shield, I think. Boom, boom. 200 left. Can't really do that much now with 200 left. It's gonna be just random missiles, I guess. Not amazing because we don't have that many targets to missile. I mean, I guess you could missile here as well. So if I had to play it over, just you know, without kind of cheating, this is kind of what I would do. We'll probably win this side, actually. So the factory did enough. Like, the factory doesn't even have to survive. But I'm not sure if we can clean this up here. It's kind of a lot. It's kind of too much stuff. Yeah. So, okay. Should we have gone for launcher overload or something? Should we have gone for range? Should we have pulled back the factory? I think the ion beam was, you know, it's usually something we never take. I was just kind of, I was just really like kind of feeling desperate because I'm going up against someone that I know is going to win almost all the time. So I'm just trying to pull, you know, shamrocks out of my ass kind of thing. And that's not the way you play, right? You don't just go haymaker. You got to be calculated. You got to be calm. You got to be reserved. And we lost our cool there, definitely. So I don't know. Like, usually you want to go for another tech. I feel like launcher overload is kind of good. You know, we can go for the chaff here. This is really standard, really standard, right? You just do that. You know, you do this. Obviously, you throw down a missile here, and then a shield, right? This is 101. The only problem is that 16% nerf to the HP is kind of bad. But maybe we still get in there. Yeah, I mean maybe it would have gotten one or two more shots. It was close. It was real close. Like, if we did this and we still lost, I'd be kind of happy with our play. I'm not happy with how our board looks. We only have Phoenix. We have no chaff clear. We have a little bit of chaff. So now I'm thinking, do we need to go like level 2 factory right there? Or did we need to transition out? The problem is if you transition out, our board is too garbage, right? I feel like you can't transition out at this point. So we can go for level 2, no HE, and just hope that it can tank. All right. Now the wasps can be something to do here, but let's just see how this goes. It's gonna live a little bit longer, and it might just work here. Okay, I actually got the melter, but it's not gonna be enough. But still, let's see what's going on here. We're kind of doing a lot of damage. We're almost winning here. We're actually almost winning on this round, but it's almost a inconsequential victory. So the level 2 was already better. It feels like you cannot transition out of this. It's at the point where you're past the point of no return. Right, so I'm just thinking maybe Wasp Chaff? Like the Wasp Chaff kind of makes a lot of sense here. Going for level 2 is interesting, but is it really worth the extra 500? Obviously, you're taking a big risk. If the missile is here, it's going to hit straight the wasps, but... this is the kind of risk you have to take. Alright, so we're going to put the wasps here. Sorry about that. I had to attend to something for a moment there. Do this, do the beacon. Okay, so no wasp shield. 250 left is a lot. Do we just upgrade this? Do we go charge shot? I wonder if you just go charge shot here. And we'll just like missile this. Now I'm already not loving the position of this wasp. I prefer it to be more forward so it can get into the way of the melter. Like right now. Okay, I mean it's already doing a lot. Let's be honest here. Like this is we're already halfway there. If it weren't for that nerf, we'd already be the melter would already be dead. Let's just see how this goes. Are we gonna just win because of the charge shot out of curiosity? I mean, it's looking quite good. We'll be close to winning, but it's gonna be not really. All right, so let's try that again, but let's figure out a better positioning with the wasp. And I'm starting to wonder, do we actually want the can we actually afford the ion beam? Because if we can afford the ion beam, isn't that good? So this is going to be kind of exploitable for next round, but you know, at least we have the opportunity to you know, we can shield it maybe next time. And this is really exploitable. If he had a missile here, we're just dead. So, you know, I'm kind of thinking, you know, I'm not exactly sure, right, how to play this, because if he has a missile here, it just goes here, then this is dead, and then it's just GG right there. So it's kind of risky, I think. You might want to put one chaff there. Maybe we don't even, maybe we're not even supposed to move the factory, because, well, the problem is if you don't move it, he's going to insta-lock. So you have to move it. So this is kind of good. I love the positioning of the wasps right now. They're all kind of moving forward. And now even the crawlers get in front. That's how good they are. Okay. So it's going to be wasps next time for us in this kind of situation. Because imagine if we did this in game. Like we would have looked like the next conclusion if this was like if we actually pulled this off, and it's not even that hard. I mean, I don't think we win, do we? No, we don't win, but still, it's really good. The only thing is, you know, I mean, 300. I don't think we have money for the missile's gonna be here. I mean, I don't think this is gonna work because so let's say we have the wasp shaft like here and here. Maybe we go for like a separate beacon. Is that something? If you just go for like 2 beacons here, so we have like a wasp pack, maybe a little bit on like the back line. Something like this. So let's say we move this forward. And then we have maybe like this beacon, this guy going back a little bit and then forward. Is that actually legitimately a move, or is that just crazy? So we dodged the insta-lock, right? These guys go in. Melter moves forward, factory moves forward, but there's kind of stuff in the way. It's not the greatest beacon, that's the problem. So the melter's not doing that much right now. And now it's going to be an insta-lock back. The on beam didn't do anything. But maybe this is fine. I mean, it's still good. It's still good compared to how we did it. But would we actually do this? Move it back and then move it forward? And we do that instead of buying and selling? Okay, so again, it's not enough to kill him. Just because we know there's probably not going to be a missile, let's just see what happens if we okay, so we will do that, and we'll throw it on the wasps, and then we'll just put it here, just because we know there's no beacon, right? So we'll just do that. We will shield here. Sell out of this. Go for a missile here. And we can even go for another pack of wasps. Now, we have money for the beacon, so we can just beacon this forward here. So let's see what happens here. Okay, so it doesn't actually even insta-lock. But the factory doesn't have the greatest beacon because it can't move forward. So it's only shooting out 1 out of 4 guns, which is not good at all. Actually, the factory didn't even go into the beacon. There was no beacon for the factory. Okay. Part of me wants to start leaving a space behind the factory. What if we just use... Is it possible to just use 1 beacon for everything? Yeah, this is super risky because 1 missile and all of a sudden the 3 wasp packs just insta die. It would be really nice to click shield on the wasp. So how does this work? It's probably our best play yet. Still gonna be around 900 though. Okay, so this is a little bit more. Okay, so it's has something to do with the wasps. Now, how do you position the wasps? That's a completely different story because, I mean, I think the way you position the wasps is like you put 1 crawler here and then you put 2 wasps behind. So then the missile can't actually hit. So if we actually want to learn how we do this in the future, we have to play this like legitimately. So I think this is how you want to do it. All right. And maybe we don't need this fire even, because the fire is killing more of our chaff than his. I mean, we already knew that we couldn't play a normal game once we came out with the early fire, because the fire is just it sets us so far behind economically. Okay, so this is going to be the Mathismight variation to the factory. Put 1 crawler, 2 wasps behind it, and this is going to be our new build moving forward. We may not even need to move the factory, unless it gets insta-locked, of course. Say, then we actually kill him with this. And, you know, it doesn't matter if he puts a missile here, it's just going to hit the crawler. So I really like this. Now, if you put it in the other direction, you probably lose. So you have the gamble where he puts the melter. If he puts the melter, I guess this is the best positioning for the melter, but if he puts it here, which I'm kind of expecting sometimes, like, then, you know, well, you know, you might lose the coin flip, but still, there's a good chance that this can get in front. So I think I learned a lot there, and I think the charge shot. How much did the charge shot do? Like, charge shot did nothing. So, dude, do not worry about the charge shot. If anything, just get a shield on the wasp, I think, right? If you have extra money left over. So, yeah, that was really eye-opening experience there. All right, this is the replay. I mean, the rematch. Against the master. You can go elite spec. We can go quick supply. I think we just go elite spec here. We can. I think this is safer. This is just more risky, but I think against a player like this, you're gonna need to go for the. You're gonna have to just go for the most all-in strategy. So with the elite spec, you're going to either win hard or lose hard, and I kind of like that. Usually you can push an advantage here, especially since you get the crawlers initially. So the last game we played against him, we just forced the factory on round 5. We just completely just didn't care about playing normally. We just sold like our chaff. We sold our chaff clear, just threw a factory down. It was the most craziest thing ever. I don't want to say it almost worked. It kind of worked initially, but we couldn't. We couldn't. You know, it was hard for us. Like, I did find some winning lines in the replay, but I don't think we try that again. I think now that he's got this idea of what we're going to do, we're actually not going to do it. So we're going to make him blind counter us, and he's got the giant spec, so he's going to be throwing down random Elters. And we're just going to go heavy into Phoenixes now. But this is kind of not good here that we aren't winning hard. Our level 2 crawlers actually aren't doing that much, which is really disappointing. I was hoping to get some kind of huge victory, but he loves the storms as much as we do, so Phoenix is interesting. Fire Badger can be good, but let's just go Phoenix. I think you have to put these kind of back because he doesn't have anything near the front line. I think we just go for more crawlers here. Not much else we can do given our situation. I'm just wondering if this needs to be all the way back. I think we might as well put it all the way back. If he puts some crawlers down front, like we could leave this forward. Do we go for attack or defense? Feels like attack. Alright, so we'll just leave it 2 squares up. I think that's fine. Could even have it like at least at the same line. 3 squares up is probably okay. Alright, let's go with 3 squares up. Okay. It's got nothing in front of the towers pretty much. Which means the Phoenixes are going to be moving a little forward, but I don't think that's a huge deal. 3 squares from all the way back isn't too bad. It's just that the storms are not gonna be able to tank for the Phoenixes. I think they're in front of the storms. Which, I don't know. It's probably not ideal. Kind of want to get into a few Mustangs here. Might have to go Arclight range first. Because, you know, he's going to build a lot more chaff, so we probably need to go for Arclight range. A couple more Arclights. I feel like this is our play. I don't know how smart this is, but feels kind of okay. What do we unlock though? Probably don't need this. Probably don't need any of this. Raiden time. What's the Raiden for? It's got ionization. He gets a free unlock there, but not sure if Raiden is necessarily amazing. Wonder if we ever go underground threat with the crawlers just so they survive a lot longer. I feel like we should. I feel like Mustangs are pretty good next, Mustang range, but I also want Phoenixes. So because we're kind of winning the ground battle. It feels like he's got to go for the he has to go for the Titan. Raiden doesn't even pick up a level, interestingly. It really deserves a level. Okay. Smoke bomb can be actually pretty good, but I mean, He doesn't have any chaff clear, interestingly. Let's just skip. Phoenixes with range, maybe? How much is Underground Threat? 300? It's probably worth it. Given he doesn't have actually that much shaft clear. I think we just go Mustang's range next. We might even be able to win in a fair fight here. Yeah, we're not going to go for anything crazy here. Steel balls or rhino. I think rhino's a little bit better. Just throw down some rhinos to go with our army. Yeah, this is worth upgrading, but let's also consider going for the going for this with range. Because we're kind of weak to wasp here, so we will do this. No ionization. That's surprising. Okay, he goes Vulcan. I didn't like to see that because we went for the Mustang, so it's really not good to see. Probably could have anticipated that, but we should have went for the Titan. I was expecting him to go Melter or something. We'll definitely go Underground Thread next. And beacon away maybe one of the Mustangs. Okay, I think we're gonna lose to this Mustang as well. It's a little unfortunate. But he's kind of weak to wasps, I guess. We could also use the fire against him. Let's use the mobile beacon just to beacon away. Well, let's go for one of these and then just oil him. Go like this. Let's go Underground Threat here. Do we go for 2 wasps? We can't go for wasps anymore. Are these guys still useful? Kind of starting to not be so useful here, so we can go for wasps. Why don't we try that? Let's think about how to make this a little bit more aggressive. Okay. Okay, so the melters are for the melters are for the Titan that we didn't go for. And the wasps are obviously pretty good here. They're not great into the fangs, but they're definitely still doing a lot. Should be able to get into the tower, I think. Not really, but kind of close. Okay, the fire was actually really good for us. Now I kind of want to go for a Titan, but he already has ranged melter, so why don't we go for a sentry missile, because it's kind of vulnerable to it right here. Can we throw down more chaff here or what? Let's go for a couple more phoenixes. I think the answer is just more phoenixes at this point. I mean, we could push in with a melting point here. We could push in with a Titan, but we don't have that much money per se. And yeah, probably just beacon this backwards a little bit. So let's upgrade our chaff clear. Mustangs did all right, but I don't know if you just want to build more Mustangs into this. Kind of feel like it's more Phoenixes. Yeah, let's sell out of this. Let's go for a charge shot, maybe? We're playing this as standard as possible. We already have an advantage because, well, you know, we made him go for melting points, but we don't really have any like units that are you know, that can be exploited. So do you like our decision to go with the charge shot Phoenix now? But man, those all those yeah, we just do not have enough chaff clear. We're almost there, but just running a little bit short. And then that's gonna be the end of us, I think. That's too bad. I thought we played that well as well, you know. That's what we get for playing civil, but to be honest, you cannot go into a Titan here because of the melter. So what did we do wrong? Was obviously the charge shot. We just needed more chaff clear, right? Going more chaff maybe wasn't the answer. All right, so let's try. I guess let's try with Mustangs, and we'll cheat a little bit, and we'll like beacon. I guess he goes for something here, right? He tries to so maybe we do that. We'll upgrade this stuff. Probably could sell out of this by now. And doesn't make sense, but you know, do we actually go into more Mustangs? And do we go like armor piercing or something? Does it make sense to thread on some missiles, or he's just going to beacon this? Doesn't really make that much sense. I think we can upgrade some of our chaff clear. The wasps are still kind of problematic for him. Doesn't feel right to go mass Mustangs into Vulcan, but for the chaff clear, it is kind of important. Are we winning this so far, or no? We're still losing, but we're not losing as much. We're almost tying. All right, so for sure the Mustangs were a better play. Are we just supposed to go Wasps here, like with range instead? Maybe this missile isn't worth it. So we'll upgrade this stuff. Let's just go into more Wasps and just see what happens. And we could probably click range on the Wasp. We'll do the cheat here. Continue to sell, upgrade all this stuff. Go into another Wasp or what? We need Wasp Shield maybe? Then we don't even care about the beacon. I guess the beacon's good for the underground threat. Okay, so the Wasps only have range. Do we need ground? We don't have ground spec, but the Wasps are doing a lot. They're clearing chaff. They're getting onto the giants. All right, we win slightly here. So kind of looks like Wasps is good, but you know, the Wasps are they would die if you they would die next round because, you know, it's too easy to counter. So I'm thinking more about the Mustangs again. Thinking about maybe elite recruiting them. And then just, you know, maybe we can go attack here and upgrade a Phoenix. I think we should have sold out the Rhino a little bit earlier because, I mean, it's, you know, it's tanking a little bit, but is it worth it? Doesn't feel like this is enough. Somehow the AP was better than the elite recruit, which is kind of interesting. So the Wasps win, the Mustangs with AP kind of do all right. Do you really need AP though? Like, what if you just go for like, let's say, you do go for Mustangs, but then maybe mix in one Phoenix and perhaps go for Charge Shot. All right, I think this is the best we can come up with. The charge shot is really good, but the problem is the chaff clear, right? He has so much chaff coming in. This is kind of looking really good. So we got too many Phoenixes. That was the problem. We had the right idea there. It was just that we needed a couple more Mustangs. But I thought that the Mustangs weren't good into all those Vulcans, but that's one thing that I didn't realize. So, all right. We're getting close there. I mean, you know, we got the right technology. It was just the okay. This is horrible positioning though. Maybe we need to position this here in the middle here. So that's something to keep in mind. We probably would have done a lot better. Let's just see, out of curiosity, how that would have done. So 2 of these guys, 1 Phoenix. Still upgrade everything in missile-less. We're just testing now this single Phoenix positioning. How much of a difference that'll be. We did 800 damage before. I'm guessing we might even do like 1500 just with 1 Phoenix difference. Maybe not that much, but I think it's going to be at least 1 giant more. The way he layered in those late fangs are very, very, it's very, very smart. Yeah, this was kind of our game to lose here. Like, we had the good composition. Okay, so it does roughly the same, which is kind of weird. All right, guys. Well, it's always an honor to play this guy. So we'll you know, we'll get him again, and you know, the fact that we recently won against him is already kind of amazing. So yeah, GG.